guys. Just giving it a second. Letting people catch up here. I got to get on here so I can see the comments. Okay. 91 people. Give it just a minute and there will be more and we will get this party started. Hey, I like this t-shirt. I'd rather be sailing. How's that? Okay, wow. 200 people that fast. All right, so, oh man. Couple nights ago, Patty Cakes went to Plano, Texas. Went up around Dallas and was working with the old man up there, Yacht Line News. If one of the mods will post a link to his channel, that'd be great. One thing that we have uncovered in these, walking while illuminated activities is how quick homeowners are to lie to the police, knowingly and intentionally lie to the police. Basically make false police reports. And I know why it is. It's because nobody will prosecute them. So we had a couple nights ago, you guys remember I went live in the vehicle because the property owners had the police stop us, and they told the property owners that I was on their property and I was up peering in their car and all this different stuff, and I never was even on that side of the street. So a few nights ago, Patrick and Yacht Line News were in a neighborhood and they had a guy come out with a shotgun, and they're just like, we don't want part of this, don't know what's going on. So the guy goes back in, gets a baseball bat, and follows them down the street. Well, Patrick got a little smart with his mouth. It happens. And the guy rushed them swinging the baseball bat. Yacht Line News pepper sprayed the guy and he went away. Police show up and, Yacht Line and Patrick are like, we're not going to file any charges. We're done. We just want to go on about our business. And the police hold them up, and then finally arrest them. Because the guy that came at them with the bat that they pepper sprayed, okay, now in Texas, that is aggravated assault. And it's a second-degree felony, if I'm not mistaken. That guy told the police that Patrick and Yacht Line were up in his yard by his house looking in his windows. Now, and I can tell you it didn't happen, but in Texas, it falls under disorderly conduct, and they arrest you, and predictably, Patrick and Yacht Line were both arrested. I'm going to show you, here I'll show you a quick clip from this video. This is, link to this video is in the description, so you can go over and watch the whole thing. But here's just a quick snippet.
He's swinging it like this, and that's when he gets the mace.
Gotcha. And again, what was the purpose for shining the flashlight onto houses?
Well, I mean, it's very easy for a light. Let me demonstrate. It's very easy for a light to get on a house when you're looking at some of the cars.
Okay.
It's very
So
easy.
You never walked up to a person's window and shined a flashlight inside the window?
No. We've been on the sidewalk the whole time, Sarge.
Okay.
We don't do that.
Who do y'all know in this neighborhood?
We're just going for a walk.
Do we have to know somebody?
We're going for a walk, Sarge.
Okay.
We've been on the sidewalk the whole time.
Okay.
We've never.
We
went
did
on
not
anyone's
disobey
property.
any
If
laws.
he wants to do a CTW, that's fine. But we were never on anyone's property or at anyone's window. We were at the sidewalk the whole time.
Okay. All right. Well, here's what's going to happen, sir.
Okay.
You have some pepper spray on you, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Where is that?
It's in my right pocket.
In your back pocket? Okay.
No.
Need you to turn around for
Listen to me.
You need to listen to me. Okay?
Listen to me.
You're under arrest.
Okay.
You're under arrest for disorderly conduct for causing a breach of the peace.
He's gonna go to jail.
Okay.
So what I need to get you to do, can I get it to turn around and put your hands behind your back?
Appreciate it.
Okay, then don't reach there. That's okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you.
Sorry. So they arrest these guys. They charge them with disorderly conduct, which is a Class C misdemeanor, basically a traffic citation. And they seized all their gear, all their equipment, cell phones, body cameras. They even seized Patrick's wristwatch. Okay? This is what butthurt cops do. You know, I get seizing the body camera, but there's no need to seize the phones. They were live streaming, and so everything is on the live stream. And they told them that. They seized those phones just to show who has the power. Nothing else. But so now, you know, Patrick's got to go get a new phone, and Yachtline's got to go get a new phone. And Yachtline is an old guy. I think he's 72, 73. He's old. And he keeps all his doctor's appointments and all that stuff on the calendar in his cell phone. So by taking his phone, they have really screwed him up. They do all this for a Class C misdemeanor, a traffic ticket. They do nothing to the man that committed the second-degree felony. Sounding familiar? Just like LaPorte. They're going to arrested the three of us for a Class C misdemeanor, a traffic ticket. And the lady that had the gun out in the street making terroristic threats, which is a felony in Texas, waving that gun around saying, I'm going to shoot you, is a felony. They do nothing to her. Not a thing. So, you know, we're seeing a pattern here. This guy that lied to the police and told them Patrick was in his yard by his house. And a house, I've seen the video where it starts, and the house is actually quite a distance away from the sidewalk. But they're saying that Patrick was up at the house looking in the windows with a flashlight. He lied. Okay, I know Patrick didn't do that. I know I've talked to Patrick and asked him. This is not procedure. This isn't how we do anything. When we're out doing this stuff, we very deliberately remain on the sidewalk. Okay? Don't go near a vehicle. Don't do any of that kind of stupid stuff. You stay on the sidewalk. Because if I want to look at somebody's yard art from the sidewalk, well, I can do that. Welcome to America. And if you don't like it, don't put the yard art in your yard. Or build a wall around it. Don't want somebody looking at your car, put it in your garage. It's pretty simple. You know, as for, you know, flashlights shining on a car or whatever, people drive down the streets with their high beams on, pulling in and out of their driveways. They light that kind of stuff up all the time. What's the harm? What's the difference? The difference is in people's heads. So much so that they will go to extremes and lie to the police to get you arrested. Now, we have a solution for that since the district attorneys won't prosecute these people. And keep in mind, for those of you that don't remember, the Tuttle murders, where the HPD narcotics officers broke into the Tuttle's home and murdered them in a hail of bullets, started with a false police report. So, you know, these false police reports can and have gotten people killed by the police. They should not be tolerated, and we're not going to tolerate it. I can tell you we've come up with a solution. We've already consulted with civil attorneys, and basically these people that because we have body cameras that run from the time you get out of the car till the time you get back in the car. So we can show what we did, where we stood, etc., so forth. We are going to start bringing civil actions against these people, and we're going to sue them. And I figure if we do enough of these, pretty soon the media is going to pick up on it, and people are going to stop and think, wait a minute, if I make these false police reports, it may cost me some money, or I may have to make a claim on my homeowner's insurance, and that's going to cost me money too because there's a deductible and my insurance rates will go up, blah, blah, blah. I hate that it has to come to that, but what else can we do? We got to stop these people from making false police reports and false allegations. People are dying because of bad information. There's a disconnect between what's being actually happening and what people are telling the police is happening. And until that gets straightened out, you run the risk of getting killed. So, imagine if somebody calls the police and says, hey, there's a guy here on the street with a flashlight, came up to my window, pointed a gun at me. What kind of response are you going to get? You're going to end up at gunpoint on a felony stop with a really high risk situation where you could be killed because somebody lied. And then maybe after you're killed, maybe then they'll prosecute the guy, but that doesn't do you any good. It's got to stop. And since the district attorneys and the police will not hold these people accountable, we're going to drag them into civil court and hold them accountable there. In the meantime, Plano PD took Patrick's stuff. Now, luckily, he's about a year ago, he and I had a long conversation about when you get new phones and stuff, you need to put insurance on them because, if they get damaged or confiscated or whatever, you can replace them. So he did have insurance on some of the stuff that was seized, and he's just got a deductible. I think it's $200 each piece. So his phone, his watch, his other phone's like $600 in deductible. So he's not too terribly bad off, but how many of you got $600 to hand over, for property that should never have been confiscated? It's stupid. It's stupid. So I've been having people ask me if I knew about this and whatnot, and yes, I'm in the loop. The big thing with the trolls right now is they're running around telling everybody, he wasn't going to bail Patrick out. He was going to leave Patrick in jail. Absolutely, 100% not true. 100% another lie from the old Manson Merb cult. Trying to cause dissent, trying to make people think I don't like Patrick or whatever they're trying to do. Who cares? Who cares? The funny thing is they're planning to show up at the rally and hand out flyers on me and, all this stuff. And I'm just like, hey, have at it. Don't care. Don't care. It's just one more rung in the ladder for them. So let them do whatever. But, we're going to have to start holding these homeowners accountable ourselves in order to bring this practice to a halt. And that's our next step. So, guys, if you, I'm going to go over here and look at questions. If you just give me a second to get a quick drink. All right, let's see what we got. Backed by the blue. Oh, they have come up with a new thing here in Texas. They're trying to make it in Texas like it is, like they're trying to make it in Oklahoma and I think Tennessee. They want to make it where you can't record the police. Well, guys, guess what? We already have case law on this. And if you pass that law, I will be the first one out there trying to get charged because the case law says otherwise. So you crooked politicians up there, I'm going to do a video about it, and I'll give you guys the contact information so you can call the crooked politician who came up with this idea. And he didn't come up with it. It's the police unions. It's being driven by the crooked, organized crime police unions. But we're going to give them a few phone calls and let them know how we feel. But, yeah, it's not going to happen. That's right. Yeah, that Oklahoma SB 6 is passing. It won't hold up to scrutiny in court. So let them do it. This doesn't happen in North Carolina. Yep, they hide the laws. Yep. No, it's not about party. Oh, thank you, whoever threw the super chat. It's not about party affiliations. Okay, I see that all the time. It's all the Republicans, and then it's all the Democrats and all the Democrats. Look, party affiliation is just that. It's a party affiliation. But the reality is that most of the political parties these days aren't that different from each other. That's what I've seen. And so I don't vote for people based on what political party they're in. I vote for them based on how they stand on the issues. Okay? And that's what I look at. How are you standing on the issues? Where do you stand on abortion? Where do you stand on Second Amendment issues and First Amendment issues? And then I vote on the person, not the party. And that has worked well for me. All right, let's see. Oh, David, vulgar language is disorderly conduct for your Laporte arrest. You violated the law. Yes, Class C. You are mistaken. And let me explain to you why. Okay, disorderly conduct is the use of fighting language, fighting words. So if I say, if I'm looking at you and we are in the same place and I say F you, okay, that's fighting words. That generates a breach of the peace, and that is disorderly conduct. You can go look at Cohen versus California or Hill versus the city of Houston if you want to see what is protected free speech. And basically, F the police, F the government, F the draft, all of that is protected free speech. Okay? It's directed at, it's a political statement. All right, which is covered by the First Amendment. Plain and simple. There's so much case law on this that it's sickening that people are still being arrested for this. And by the time I'm done with Laporte, I suspect that they will never, ever make an arrest on that kind of stuff again, because I'm going to make it expensive for them. I actually made an offer to the mayor and the city to settle this right now. We'll settle this right now. No lawsuit, no nothing. And I made them an offer, and I gave them a week to respond. And it was pretty simple, pretty basic. Didn't ask for a lot. Didn't ask for any money. I asked them to make a donation to St. Jude's, which I would have matched. And silence. All I got was crickets. So, oh well. I don't like to be litigious. I don't like to sue people. I don't like to sue cities and police departments and do all that stuff. But I will, if that's what it takes. I will do it. And in this instance, obviously, that's what it's going to take. So it's coming. It's coming. And it's going to get a lot of attention when it gets filed. And these politicians are going to end up having to explain to their citizenry about why they're getting sued and why are we arresting people. Why are we allowing a butthurt chief of police to arrest people for protected free speech? And I can tell you right now, there's probably half dozen or more Laporte cops watching this video, watching this broadcast right now. I promise you they're watching. I had a little visit with some officers alongside a roadway the other day, and I had Sissy with me, and they knew Sissy by name. Okay? I understand the latest Fusion Center bulletin has a picture of Sissy, and it says in the bulletin that she is not law enforcement friendly. And that is not correct. Sissy loves the police. She is 100% back to blue, as long as they're not crooked cops. She believes like I do. back the good guys and the heck with the bad guys. But that is it, guys. One more time, I'll go through the comments, and then I'm going to get out of here and get some sleep. I got a bunch of stuff going on tomorrow. Yeah, the bond that they put on police officers here in Texas is ridiculously low. You know, once again, they need to... Yeah, if that guy had swung that baseball bat at the cops, they'd have killed him. And, you know, any armed citizen out there on the street would 100% be justified, if that man came at them with that bat swinging it, justified in using deadly force. He's lucky all he got was pepper sprayed. And he should take that lesson and get on down the road. Instead, he elected to retaliate. Now, retaliation is a felony in Texas as well. He elected to retaliate by lying to the police to get them arrested. And that ain't cool. And it's going to be an expensive lesson for him as well. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Nori Martin. 1. Uses abusive, indecent, profane, or vulgar language in a public place, and the language by its very utterance tends to incite an immediate breach of the peace. Okay, Noreen. Thank you for posting that. I'm going to point out a couple of things on that. Again, what the statute says. Okay, read that statute. First things first. Read that statute and then go look at the video. Did the meeting get disrupted? Did the mayor jump up and down and scream and yell at me? Did anybody at any point raise an objection to what I said or even act like they noticed? No. So there was no breach of the peace. The words were not directed at an individual, which would have been fighting words, and that would have been disorderly conduct. 100%, I agree with you. Okay? I don't think it should be, but that doesn't matter. 100%, that would have been disorderly conduct. However, political arena, political speech, protected free speech. Go read Hill versus the city of Houston or Cohen versus California. And those are just 2 of probably 25 that come to my mind right off the top of my head. 100% protected free speech. Don't let anybody tell you any different. They are lying to you. Listen to me. If somebody is telling you that was not protected free speech, they are lying to you. Don't listen to trolls. Don't go research it for yourself. That's all you got to do. It's not rocket science. This is the case law is very clear on this. All right, so got a couple more minutes. Like I said, I got to get some sleep. I've been going. Law and justice. If anyone is offended in that room, it's a violation. No, it's not. No, it's not. If I stood on the sidewalk and walked up and down the sidewalk saying F the police, and somebody's offended by that, it is not a crime. It is protected free speech. Go look at the case law. Let me tell you something. It is so much so, I have lawyers lining up for the case, begging me for the case. They're calling me. Okay? This won't cost you any money. I'll take all the filing fees, just give me a percentage of the settlement. They're doing that because they know I am right. Now, do I necessarily agree that that is a thing to be out in public saying? No, I don't. And I typically don't do that or say that. However, sometimes to drive your point home, you just have to really do something radical. And it's unfortunate, but, it has to be done. I don't like it, but sometimes it just has to be done. Let's see what else. Yeah, in LaPorte, it's not free speech, right? They think. let's see. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you go and look. Okay, so wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, here's something. If somebody tooted in the room and everybody was offended, would that be a crime? Because in our statute for disorderly conduct, one of the things in there is noxious fumes, but it speaks about, it's directed at like pepper spray and stuff like that. But if somebody tooted in there, then what? It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. They should have gone on about their business and left me alone. But you see, crooked cops can't do that. It's all about their ego. And they can't stand when somebody stands up to them and makes them look bad. And that's really what this was about. That chief is upset because that police department looks bad. They did something stupid and everybody got to see it. They hate that. And this is the second time that has happened to them because of me. The other thing is, I dared to speak badly of them to city council. You guys go back and watch that city council meeting. You don't see it in my video, my body camera footage. But before I spoke, they had this big thing about, our city is so great. Our police are so awesome. We're such good people. That's all they did was sit around and pat themselves on the back about how good they are, how great they are, how wonderful they are. And yet, if you go into that city and go to, say, a convenience store like I have done, and you catch the people behind the counter and say, hey, are the police around here good or bad? Oh man, the police are so bad around here. Go talk to some of the minorities in that community and see what they have to say. And I can tell you, it's not going to be, our police are so good. It's those blinders. They convince themselves with their own propaganda and their own little echo chamber that things are good and great and wonderful, and they're not. Now, don't get me wrong. LaPorte PD has some decent officers. I know some of the officers up there, and they have some decent officers. The problem is, if you have a chief of police, especially one that is all buddy-buddy with the union, wants to keep the union happy, and especially if he's been there for 50 years and was a member of the union and worked with all these guys, he's more worried about his friendships with them. He's more worried about everything that he has going on there except punishing the guys that do bad. And they know that, and they take advantage of it. They should never have picked a chief from within the department. They should have brought somebody fresh and clean in, like they did with Adcox, and that way he has no allegiances to these people. When the mayor asked the chief of police, did your officers do something they shouldn't have done? Is there a possibility that your officers screwed up? Before the chief had even investigated anything, before he had even looked at anything, he said, I back my officers 100%. How can you say that? You don't know what happened. You don't know what your officer did. You haven't investigated. You haven't looked at anything. You just back him because he's one of your officers. That's the problem. That's the problem. And the cops in that department know that's the case, and they know that's going to be the situation. So what incentive do they have to do the right thing? Zero. Now, there are officers in that department that have integrity and will do the right thing even when nobody's looking, because they have integrity. Unfortunately, there are a lot of officers in that department that do not have integrity, and they don't even care if somebody's looking. Piss them off, they're going to teach you who's boss by taking you to jail. It's that simple. There's a lot of cameras in the jail in LaPorte. I don't think there's a place in that jail you can go where you're not on camera. Do you know why that is? It's because that department has a reputation in this area for beating prisoners. So cameras were put in to bring the beatings to a halt. Well, if we needed to go that extreme that we have to put cameras in there to protect citizens from crooked cops, why aren't we firing the crooked cops instead? And bringing in people who have integrity, that aren't going to do this stuff. Why not do that? That I guess that's just too logical. That makes too much sense. But we've got to make the changes. And the only way it happens is you've got to get good leaders. You've got to get leadership in place. And if you have leaders that are making these kind of decisions, I'm going to arrest these 3 guys, even though I know the law says they can do that, I'm going to arrest them anyway and show them who's boss. When you have a supervisor that is thinking like that and making decisions like that, nothing good comes of it. If he's making those kind of decisions, what are the officers that work under him doing? What kind of choices and decisions are they making? You see where I'm going with this? Corruption starts at the top. The guy on the bottom is only going to do what he knows he can get away with. And if he has no incentive to do the right thing, if you could drive down the road and the speed limit is posted at 65, but there's no ticket for speeding, there's no repercussions at all if you get caught speeding. What is your incentive to do the speed limit? It's exactly the same thing. The situation is exactly the same. There's no incentive to do the right thing. There are going to be abuses of the situation. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing it in LaPorte. Patrick's dealing with it now in Plano. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. Bad cops get good cops killed. I have no problem backing a good cop. I have no problem when an officer makes an honest mistake. It happens. We're human. They're human. I get it. But when you play dumb and rely on qualified immunity to protect you when you knowingly did the wrong thing, that's not right. And you're going to run home to your spouse and your children and your friends and your family and, oh, I'm a hero. I arrested 3 guys today for jaywalking. That's not a hero. There's nothing heroic about that. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to those other people. What you did was behave like a tyrant. You deprived innocent people of their freedom. Exposed them to a harmful virus that could kill them because your feelings got hurt and you felt the need to show somebody who's boss and who has the power. That's not protecting or serving the community. All that is stroking your ego. That's it. So that's what we're dealing with in LaPorte. That's what we're dealing with in Plano. And we're going to start making these changes. If they won't do it themselves, we're going to force it. And we're going to get the communities involved and start getting these mayors and city councilmen that have been in office for years. We're going to get them out and get some people in there that care about the community. People who don't need to live in an echo chamber. That people that have a genuine interest in what's happening in their city and have a genuine interest in having it made right wherever that city may be. So that's it, guys. I've preached enough. Somebody else threw me a super chat. Thank you guys for the super chat. I appreciate it. I'll be doing another live stream probably tomorrow. Bring you guys up to date on the LaPorte event. There's some interesting developments on that. I think you guys might. I want you to know what's going on. I want you to know the city of LaPorte has tried to shut that down and failed. But that is it, guys. Thanks for watching. The link, give me a minute. There will be a link to that video, the full video of the Plano arrest, so you can go and look at it. And check out Yachtline News as well. That is it. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to go get some sleep because I am tired. It's been a long day. I'll see you.